Hey everybody, welcome in the inaugural edition of Fat Guy Cooking. Okay, a little bit round, fat, might be a stretch, but you know what? You got to go big or go home. Normally you hear me on the radio, Fox Sports Radio in the evenings, 8 to 11 Pacific, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, alongside Jason Smith, pontificating about the world of sports, the good, the bad, the ugly. Right now we're in conference tournament season, looking for those automatic bids, looking for the big dance, invitation cards, all of the euphemisms that you heard for the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Conference play going on today, so what do we need? We need a nice snack as we get going. What better way to do it than in our own kitchen? Save a few bucks instead of going out to the fast food places, hitting the drive-thru, and that's one of the things we want to teach you here as we go. A little bit of something I was inspired by my 8-year-old and some of the time we've had in the kitchen doing some crazy-ass recipes, some that take hours at a time. You know what? Great bonding experience. You really want to know what's going on with your kids if you have them, or your nieces and nephews at school and with their buddies and everything else, and how they're seeing the world. Get them in the kitchen. Get them to start helping you with different things. You can ask the questions. It's just conversational. Yeah, I know. They let their guard down. You might too, so be careful if they come back with a question of their own. But as we go through, we're all looking for a way to have a nice meal, save a few bucks, build towards bigger goals, whether it's paying off your car, your student loans, and that's all I hear, student loans, getting rid of those, maybe getting yourself out of a rental into purchasing a property, upgrading your car, fixing your car, saving for a vacation. I know spring break's coming up. People are looking at the sticker shock of where they want to go, maybe summer break, whatever the case may be. We're going to teach you how to make a cool meal, something you might order at the restaurant for a fraction of the price, save that money, and go do something else. So what we're doing today is the Panko-Crusted Pork Chop, right? A couple days ago, I put on my Twitter account, at SwollenDome, the Flintstonian cut that we did. We did a test. My daughter and I, we stood here, and they were thick. They were thick, which meant the oven had to come on because by the time you had the breadcrumbs into the state where they weren't quite burnt, you still had some work to do in the middle of the pork to make sure it was safe to eat. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a smaller, thinner piece of pork. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to put a crust on that, of breadcrumbs and egg and whatever seasonings you've got. We'll talk about that in a moment. I've already got some oil heating up on the stove, so let's get after it. All right? What I wanted to do as we do these recipes, we're going to do this a couple times a week because we cook a lot at home. Again, great bonding time. We usually have some music or a movie going on in the background, a lot of laughs, and a chance to just stop down from all the activities, all the running around. Because remember, those activities cost money too. Not just your time, not just your gas, but also a lot of fees that go into those. So this is a way to kind of offset and put some money back in your pocket as opposed to heading out. When we're looking at our ingredients, we've got the panko breadcrumbs, $3 a box. All right, Dynasty, whatever is in your local grocery store. And what is that for? 8 ounces. So got a good amount. Your pork chops. I bought 7 of these, right? Pack of 7 of this size, $8. So 8, 11 eggs, a couple eggs. I don't know what you call it. Just call them a quarter a piece. So what are we at? $11.50. We got the seasonings, which you already got in your cabinets, right? I like the coriander, a garam masala, a little bit, and some seasoning salt. That's all I'm looking to go in there. Maybe a little bit of pepper if you want. But we season the breadcrumbs. What's that? That's already on hand. Right? Either someone cleared out a spice rack, maybe something happened to somebody in the family, maybe mom and dad, aunts, uncles, ex-boyfriend or girlfriend went through and gave you all the duplicates. So now you got a bunch. We're going to put them to use here. And as you see, you can go a bunch of different ways. We go through our cabinet here. I've got drawers of spices. We've got barbecue rubs. We've got Greek seasoning. You've got Italian style things. Whatever you want. Whatever type of seasoning you like when you're going towards cooking a piece of meat. You know, we do a lot of grilling here. We'll do a lot of that on the segments come summertime. But all we're going to do is we're going to take one of these implements. Maybe, again, someone in your family decided to get through and clear out some of their clutter. Maybe they had a duplicate. If they have a duplicate, don't ask any questions. Maybe this came with a tail. Maybe you want to make sure you put it in some boiling waters for a little bit to sterilize it. But either way, meat tenderizer, what we want to do is we want to pound out a little bit of flatness, obviously, on a plate. Maybe not what you want to do especially if they're brand new plates. Maybe you can't afford a new set. Maybe you don't want to upset your significant other because you hit too hard. Maybe your team's losing as you're starting to cook. All of a sudden you got broken plates, you got problems. And then we go from there. But you want to get that as flat as you can because that's going to give us a nice quick cook as we get it into our oil. You see, already doing some experimentation. But you want to do as you do for the kids. This is a nice little trick, right? All right, we got a nice little pop. That means our oil's ready to go. And I feel like a magician, either in Las Vegas or maybe I could be in the next iteration of Fantastic Beasts. I mean, I've got a face for TV, right? Maybe for the big screen, maybe not. So what we want to do is we're going to season our pork chop as well. Take a little bit of that seasoning salt. Take a little bit of our coriander. A little bit of our garam masala. Again, not overdone. One thing to always remember, you're handling raw meat, you're handling eggs. You want to make sure you're also washing your hands with regularity. If it's just you, all right, maybe you're a little more adventurous, but certainly if you're going to feed someone else, make sure that you're washing your hands with regularity. That's it. We've got a seasoned pork chop. We're ready to go. We're going to take it first, and we're going to dip it into our egg that we've got, a nice scrambled egg, and we're going to dip it in. Remember, one hand for wet, one hand for dry. Put that pork chop into our breadcrumbs. We're going to top those over, and then we're going to go back out. Once we've got that dredged, we're going to go back into the egg a second time. Again, one hand for wet, one hand for dry. I'm going to take the breadcrumbs over the top. Again, they're nice and seasoned, so now you've got seasoning not only on your pork chop, but also in your breadcrumbs. So as you take this into your oil, you're ready to go, right? You got a nice crusted. So what we want to do is we're going to go about 3.5 minutes on either side. And now's the time of the segment that we'll do each time. We're kind of talking about the cost, right? As I mentioned, $8 for the pork, $3 for the panko breadcrumbs, etc. We're all in for about 15 bucks. So when we're talking about portions, talking 7 portions, maybe 3.5 if you're, well, a fat guy cooking like me. But when you're feeding the family, you add your potatoes. I've got some nice mini potatoes. You could get those in some oil, some seasoning, and bake those off as you go. Get a nice crisp on those. Maybe you want to make some noodles or some rice. You got a nice steamer. Again, your incremental cost isn't that much. And what you want to do is you get that portion down, and while you're doing the cooking, say you've got a little one in the kitchen with you, or you're doing your own math, recognize what you're paying per serving as opposed to going out. You want to get a panko-encrusted pork chop meal, a little bit of vegetable, maybe a little bit of rice, maybe they'll add a little soup, something. You're talking about 12 to 15 bucks, right? They're going to hammer out a piece of pork, maybe a little bigger than that, and it's going to look like a pancake. National Pancake Day was yesterday, so we'll celebrate that later on. But the reality is, well, we're breaking down what we purchased here and what we have in our supplies, olive oil, and the gas for cooking, whatever. We're at 15 bucks divided by 7. You do the math, barely $2 per serving. Add your favorite beverage, whatever you've got sitting in your bar. Maybe you just have a nice glass of water, whatever the case is. And you compare that with going out, 15 bucks as opposed to 2. And you get the conversation that sometimes loses over dinner because someone's distracted, someone's on their phone. Here you're in the kitchen, you're laughing, you're having a good time. Or even if your family's around, they're getting their homework done, maybe some chores done, a little bit of relaxation while you're in the kitchen getting it on. Now, my grandmother told me long ago, when I was a young man, said, you know what? Cooking is a great hobby for a man to have. I say it's for a man or a woman, my mother-in-law, and I exchange recipes with some regularity, things she's tried out in her kitchen, things that I've done here for my kids and my wife, and we have a little bit of fun talking about that. But it's a great opportunity to sit and have a conversation about different things that are going on in their life, in your life, what's going on at work. You can impart a little bit of knowledge there. You find out about school, about their friends. No, you're not prying, but you're finding out a little bit. Meanwhile, what you're also doing is you're saving the dollars from not going out. Remember, family of 4 goes out to a chain restaurant. Pick any of them. You're going to have a burger and fries. They're going to have a hot dog and fries, whatever the kid meal is. You don't have any beer. You don't have any wine. No spirits from the bar. You're still walking out. Family of 4, what, 35 to 50 bucks, depending on where you're going, certainly here in Southern California, it's a tried and true formula. And let's call it what it is. Get a nice bottle of wine, maybe some rom-com, maybe some music, whatever the case is, and you look like you've got a skill. Either way, you're making a match in that moment. And if it all goes to hell, if it all blows up on you, you can still order pizza. That's not going away. Nobody's taking away your phone. Nobody's taking away your dialing privileges to save the day if this doesn't turn out to your liking. And that's the beauty of it. We're going to experiment with some things here. Might be to my taste and my family's taste, tried and true methods and things that we tried here. We'll also try some recipes just for giggles. But the fact of the matter is, might not work to your taste or textures, or maybe you've got a finicky eater at home. You adjust it as you can, but there's always pizza. There's always, you know, a boiling pot of water with noodles just around the bend. A couple more minutes, and everybody's happy. So that's how we operate here. We're going to do this a couple times a week. This is the first opportunity into the kitchen. Now let's check it on our pork chop. I think it's been long enough. We got a nice golden brown, as you can see, on both sides. So let's get on in there. Let's pull that off. All right, so we finished the project. We showed you the final project, right? Here is my Panko-Crusted Pork Chop, right? Nice, good, and golden brown on both sides. But what's the most important part? What's it taste like? Mom always said not to talk with my mouth full, but I think I'm going to be eating the rest of this, so I should probably just sign off now. Good, well-seasoned, and crispy, just the way we like it. Let's go watch the basketball. Hey, it's Mike Harmon. Thanks for watching the inaugural Fat Guy Cooking segment here, the Panko-Crusted Pork Chops. Look, nice, easy recipe, nice, easy process. What we need to tell you is obviously we will add more stills, more camera angles, more goodness. Get a little parabolic mic down so you can hear the sizzle like you hear the crunches of bones on a football Sunday. Just wanted to give you a quick take of what we're aiming to do here as we round it out. My trusty sidekick, my daughter, will probably join me for some episodes down the road, and you'll get to hear her mock my efforts in the kitchen as well. But at SwollenDome is where you find me on Twitter. We'll get more of these episodes up in the coming weeks, having a little bit of fun. Is it anything grandiose? No. Is it a 5-star restaurant? Hell no. But we're going to have some fun. We're going to make some good food, and you're going to save a few bucks for your other endeavors. That's the goal. Fat Guy Cooking, Mike Harmon. We'll see you next time.